Hello, welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got a game between TLO and Kanadan, and this is from the Razer replay pack of the week, and it was released on the 12th of April 2012, and this should be an awesome game. Game of Drones is of course TLO. He is the blue Zerg player down in the bottom right here, and in the top left we have got Kanadan as the red Protoss player. Now before we go any further, I have some amazing news. This week I hit the beautiful milestone of 50,000 views. Considering I only started in January, I'm super happy about that. So thank you to everyone who keeps tuning in, all the people who've subscribed, all the people who basically have enjoyed my casts. Thank you very much, and I hope it continues to grow because I love doing this and I hope you love watching it. So yeah, now that's out the way, what's this game going to be about? Well, it is a ZvP obviously. The map is one of the new ones from the ladder pool. It is Ohana, it's the map name, Ohana. I think that's how you say it, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's Ohana. I don't know. Anyway, basically, what is good about this map? Well, you have this narrow bit here, down to your natural base. It's not the narrowest ramp, it's not the widest either. You then have this ramp from your natural, and essentially this is quite narrow actually as ramps go. It's not huge, so you can wall that off. I think you can actually wall it off with 2 buildings and a pylon. Obviously very nice. These rocks actually go to your third base. No rocks at the third base. Now that would be essential for TLO down here, because obviously if the rocks weren't there, they were here, he'd have major difficulties taking his third base quickly, which would be a nightmare. However, he can still take his third base really quickly, and it's just really the entrance. It means that he has to defend up in this position, as opposed to being able to just dart back and forth between these slightly smaller chokes, which don't actually really influence him too much, but again, he'll have to take those out at some point. Now, it does look like TLO's getting a really early hatch. He did get his pool first. The pool was down at 14, I believe. The hatch obviously came down at, I think it was 15. No, must have been slightly more than that. Anyway, hatch is down. What have we got going on for Kanadan? Well, he's not getting much. He's getting his cybernetics core and gateway. Hasn't walled off though. That's quite surprising. Left himself open. The map quite big actually in terms of rush distance. It's not a short map by any means, and I mean the other thing I've got to mention about this map, obviously the fourth base is quite easy to take, quite easy to defend as well. It's got a nice natural flow, and then you've got this fifth base over here as well. Now this has got a huge open area to try and defend, and that can be a bit of a nightmare, but again, taking this fourth and fifth, I mean when you've got both, obviously you've got a lot of area to try and cover, so that can be interesting. But after that fifth base is taken, well, you then have problems because there's not much else you can take. Now we will see this warp gate tech is on the way. Some stalkers being chrono boosted out. Now what has TLO seen here? Well, he's seen there is no wall off at the ramp, there's no nexus down, so straight away his mind is going to be, well, what kind of pressure is going to be coming? Now this Stalker would even be able to pick off this Overlord, I believe, so that is not good at all for TLO. You don't want to lose an Overlord that early. Almost certainly going to down. We'll watch him explode into kind of gooey pus, because why not? There's not much else going on at this stage. What is TLO doing behind all this? Well, I mean, obviously he's getting another Overlord to compensate for that one. It's temporarily supply blocked, but he's getting a lot of drones out, and there you go, unsupply blocked himself. And Kanadan, well, he's kind of boosting out another Stalker, so this is going to be some kind of 3 Stalker pressure, a probe coming as well. So are we going to see a proxy pylon? Yes, we will. And what's he going to do with that? Well, I mean, both watchtowers are held by TLO, so he knows exactly what's coming. Knows the probe is there as well, but the chrono boost's not actually coming out on the cybernetics core, but actually on the gateway, and the natural base for Kanadan is on its way. 2 spines coming out here for TLO, and that's from the Zelnaga towers that he knows exactly what's coming. Very good. Actually bringing his second queen down in order to defend this. Needs to be careful, those queens can die pretty quick. A couple of zerglings out as well. He just wants to keep those stalkers away from the spines so they can finish up. I mean, once those spines are finished, that's fine. And what have we got up here? Well, we've got one zergling attacking, but this is what I'm interested in. A Stargate coming in. Obviously, TLO has seen it, and I mean, that is a very early Stargate timing. Speed just started now for TLO. He has just got that 1 gas, and what's he doing? Well, he's spreading some creep, which is a great move there. And that Overlord, a bit of a bad rally, that's going to go down, and that does supply block TLO temporarily, but there is a surround from those zerglings on that Stalker, so that Stalker will go down. Very nice move there, but obviously the 2 spines are finished. So frankly, TLO is pretty safe, and that has forced Kanadan back. Now what I really like here from TLO is he's getting more use out of these spines. He knows he's deflected the push, so he's going to use them to take out these rocks faster, which means a faster third, getting his evolution chamber in order to deal with this Stargate here. A second gateway, so I mean this is a pretty interesting opening from Kanadan. He has got this proxy pylon down here, isn't going to use it at all though, and I can't blame him. Because, I mean, this is good solid defense from TLO here. He's not going to break that. Creep spread also going really, really nicely. Queen count is at 3, so a dedicated creep spreading queen. Obviously, a nice touch to add on there. So, what is Kanadan going to do? Well, he's got that Void Ray nearly out. +1 carapace coming out there for TLO. 2, a gateway and a forge being added onto this, so it'll be a 3 gate with a forge. Obviously, the Stargate there as well. And I like this play by Kanadan. I haven't been too successful so far, but essentially what it is that I like is that he's putting on that early pressure. TLO, aka Game of Drones, well, that's exactly what his game is. He drones up, and if once he gets to kind of that 70-75 drone point, he becomes scary. He maxes out super quick, he gets all the tech, all the upgrades, and you are probably going to lose unless you've done a lot of damage early on. And that is essentially what Kanadan is trying to do with this Void Ray, with those initial Stalkers. And the Stalkers weren't too effective, they did force 2 spines, and obviously that's delayed the third base of TLO, but I mean this Void Ray on its own, I don't think it'll be able to force the cancel. It can take that one queen on, but the second queen will obviously force it back, and it is charged now, but Kanadan, he needs to pull that back, and there we go. The creep spread will mean that the Void Ray can escape. Templar Archives on the way down there for Kanadan. What else has he got going on? He's got some pylons. He's taking down these rocks to his own third base as well, so that's all pretty standard. A Roach Warren is just finishing now for TLO. He's got those 1-1 upgrades, double upgrades coming out for both players it looks like now. That Forge on the way for the Protoss player, that will allow him to get those double upgrades, which obviously are essential if he wants to keep up upgrade-wise. Now, what is TLO doing? Well, he's getting a Spore down here just to help deal with any more air pressure. And what we really got in terms of air pressure? Well, still just that one Void Ray and nothing else coming out. Now, that isn't great for Kanadan at all. He committed a lot by getting that super early Stargate, and also from those 3 Stalkers really, really early on, and essentially they haven't done anything for him. He has done pretty much no damage. He hasn't killed any workers, so essentially that is not great. Now, what Kanadan is doing great though is he's charging his Void Ray on these rocks. That is essential. Obviously a charged Void Ray does a lot more damage, really, really effective, but again has to be able to move that Void Ray so it does stay charged to pick off anything like a queen or something. So anyway, coming back here, double upgrades on the way for Kanadan. He's also getting out another gateway that will bring his total to 4 gates. Looking like he's moving out to take his third. An annoying Zergling is sitting there, and obviously we'll have to deal with that. Now, the other reason Kanadan is taking out these rocks, well, there isn't really one. It's just purely to charge, but his attention isn't there by the looks of things, and that Spore's going to get into a good position. But Kanadan notices just in time and moves it back. Those rocks are now down. Ideally, he didn't want to actually take down those rocks because it's advantageous for the Zerg player. And talking to the Zerg player, here we go, TLO. Not going to go in with those Lings, and I can't blame him because Zerglings against that sort of ball, especially with all those force fields, won't do anything at all. Now, really, what is TLO going to get going? Well, he's got those. He's going to be up against 1-1 upgrades, but he's got his 1-1 of his own finished pretty much now. Again, +2 carapace. He's got his infestation pit and the pathogen glands on their way. He's getting a macro hatch. He's getting the overlord speed. He's getting the roach speed. And essentially Kanadan, well, this supply difference is starting to really build, and you want to be careful of that. Getting a double robotics facility though, and that would be brilliant. I mean, if TLO does go for a roach heavy play, obviously that double robotics facility is saying, well, there's probably going to be immortals, heavy immortal play, and that would be hugely successful against roaches. I'm talking massively. TLO though, he's getting great creep spread going on here, taking down his 4th base as well. Now that 4th base is actually looking pretty safe. That one Void Ray, I'm not quite sure where he has gone. Where are you, Void Ray? Is it selected anywhere? No. So over in hockey, where are you, Void Ray? I miss you. Hang on, this is going to bug me now until I can manage to find it. Obviously infestors are coming out here for TLO. There we go, there's the Void Ray. The Void Ray is right in the middle of everything. Those Overlords are coming to hug it, because hugging a Void Ray doesn't actually do anything. Actually transfuse going off on that Roach as well, so that Void Ray is looking like he could get some free Overlords. But obviously the Queens are not having any of that. Queens love Overlords. They're kind of best friends, so I don't want them going down. Now, this is a good, well, hive timing, and there's a spine as well on the way. Where is that spine coming down? Here we go. So not a spine, a spire rather, get the word right, god. Anyway, so yeah, a spire on the way down, and considering the hives there as well, I'm guessing straight into Broodlords. But before we get any of that sort of fun, well, there's a War Prism coming out for Kanadan, and a big push coming out for TLO. What are these upgrades like? Well, it is 2-0 for the Zerglings and 2-1 for the Roaches against 1-1 upgrades. 2-2 nowhere even close there for Kanadan. And how much will this do? Don't move the Stalker back. No, you're letting the Zerglings through, and the Zerglings do get through. Look at all those infested Terrans as well. This is a big engagement going on here, and really, how much damage can this do? No Immortals are out yet. Obviously, one has popped there. Is it going to get focused down? Yes, it will. Instantly falling. The other robotics facility does go down. Now, both these robotics facilities go down. As they do, that is a big loss there for Kanadan, and TLO just following this up very, very nice. He's got good supply lead now, and actually just converting this over, going to go and attack the natural base ASAP. TLO, he's following that up with just a lot more Zerglings, and actually just pulling back. I think that was the best move he could have made there. He did some real critical damage, and now just wants to get away. Looking at the loss tab, well, it's pretty damn close at the moment, but what have we got here? We've got War Prism coming down. Is this going to actually get any use yet, or is it going to be a bit later? Wait and see. The Greater Spire, though, is getting morphed in, so we're going to have Broodlords very, very shortly. Adrenal Glands on the way, +1 rather, 1 attack for the melee, and +3 carapace for ground units. 2-2 is about 3/4 done there for Kanadan. He's also getting a Templar Archives out. Where are they? So we're going to see some High Templar. The feedbacks on these infestors will be super effective. This War Prism still doing absolutely nothing down there. Obviously wants to utilise that ASAP, because, I mean, TLO's army is very much out of position. There are quite a few infestors around, but that's pretty much it. Actually, having said that, a lot of roaches down here, so they are pretty much going to defend any kind of drop which does go on. Meanwhile, the mass kind of Battle of Britain going on here. Overlords are going out. They're going absolutely nowhere, but they can spread some creep, delay expansions, and really that's going to be essential, because Kanadan, well, he's still on these 3 bases. His main base is looking a bit low. Obviously, he doesn't want to run out of mining bases, because then he won't be able to keep up with TLO's production. TLO, 91 drones, so wow. That is a lot of drones. I'll expect to see that spine wall come out very, very shortly, because you know what's great? Spine crawlers, it's a real overlooked thing by a lot of Zerg players. They go for Infestor Broodlord, and that's fantastic for pushing, but without the mass spine walls, you're going to die. And here we go, we're going to see a 2-pronged attack going on here. Can't quite get it all on screen, nearly can, but a lot of infestors are going to get picked off, but huge fungal growths go down. Now, they are absolutely massive. Here comes the flank from behind as well, and I mean, it does look like Kanadan is going to be able to hold that. How much damage will it do though? And we've got some movement on that War Prism down in the bottom left, and is that drop going to be successful? Has TLO even seen it there? I do not know. Taking a look, no, he has no clue at all. When is he going to be able to see this? We will wait and see, but I don't know if he's got any vision. He will see that warp in, so he will be able to react. Now, that's not going to be great for Kanadan there. He has got these 2 Immortals though, and are they going to go straight for the main? Yes, they are. That second War Prism could be utilised, and this drop down at the 3rd is going to get cleaned up super quick, and Storm is coming out here as well for Kanadan. Meanwhile, Broodlords are being added on. There is already 5 there. 2 more coming on will bring the total to 7, and obviously 7 Broodlords is nothing to be reckoned with. I mean, quite a lot. I mean, there's only 19 Stalkers as well, and with the infestors there, that's going to be a bit of a problem. Here comes this spine wall. 7 spines already coming up. There's 8. A lot of spines are on the way. And where has that War Prism gone? Well, it's just sitting here, chilling out with the Overlords. They're kind of friendly. They don't want to get in fights, these transporters. I mean, nothing good. They don't have any way to attack. They just kind of chill, being aware of each other, and awareness is it means a lot to a lot of people. So anyway, here we go. We will just see that hallucinated Phoenix getting a good scalp. We'll see that spine, we'll see all the broods and the infestors, and will that put Kanadan off? Well, who knows. What I'm concerned about is this little force down here. There is no way that Kanadan can really push through this safely, and a big counterattack could potentially go down. And actually Kanadan moving back, just picking off all those creep tumors. That creep spread from TLO was getting absolutely everywhere. Now, what else have we got going on? Well, it does appear that that War Prism moved. Where have you gone, War Prism? Did it go down? It must still be there. Is it? No, it died. I completely missed that dying. But what we are going to miss up here, if we're not careful, is a big drop go down. And, well, TLO is doing huge damage, and really those stalkers are going to be cleaning up, and it looks Kanadan's army was so out of position there. This is going to be really, really tough for him to deal with, and I mean, look at the damage. All those stalkers were cleaned up. Quite a few probes are going down. It will get cleaned up. Those overlords are going to get picked off as well, but again, this is a good little bit of damage by TLO here, and meanwhile, he's denying that other base. He has got some Zergling run-bys. They're not going to be able to get through. Having said that, though, there are some getting through there. That drop in the main base is getting cleaned up. Now, what is this push going to do? Well, I mean, there is a lot of Zealots there. That War Prism does finish up as well. But, I mean, to be honest, it looks like Kanadan's going to hold this. But at what cost? We will have a look momentarily. Those roaches are now pretty much cleaned up. There is this War Prism coming in with those 2 overlords. The loss tab is nearly identical. That is so, so close. Workers killed, though. 12 killed by TLO there. If you take a look, it is, well, 74 to 56. Now here comes these 2 Immortals, and will TLO be able to deal with it? His army is way out of position. There are quite a few Broodlords there though. Wants to pull them back ideally, but he's more concerned with this War Prism, which is just a decoy. There is absolutely nothing in that War Prism at the moment, so it'd have to be a warp in. Meanwhile, these Immortals are the immediate threat, and here comes all of TLO's army, so they're going to get cleaned up so quickly. But of course, what that has allowed Kanadan to do is bring his main army in towards this 5th base of TLO, and that is going down. There's just no way that TLO can get into position to defend that in time. Look at those Immortals. 4 Immortals, they're doing huge damage, and that is the 5th base for TLO down. He does still have this 4th base, obviously. And let's take a look at the base situation here. Well, Kanadan's mined out at his main. His natural is way oversaturated and looking, well, still pretty healthy actually. Not too low, so really on 2 mining bases compared to the main base, 1, 2, 3 mining bases for TLO. And this is why you leave a Zergling there, because a Zealot there rather, in come the Zerglings, and this is a big Zergling run by. A big warping goes down. Now how much is TLO going to be able to pick off here? These Zerglings are of course 3-1 upgrades, and well, what have we got here? We've got a lot of Stargates and a Fleet Beacon. I completely missed those going down. Not going to be there. Just so much going on everywhere in this game. Obviously a big air transition going down for Kanadan, but he's a long way behind already. I mean, the one thing that is going to be good for him, very, very good for him indeed, is the fact that the Corruptor count for TLO is exceptionally low. Just taking a look here, look at how much of his supply is built up in these Broodlords. The downside, of course, being though, the TLO with that Zergling run by will scout it, and we've got carriers. Carriers are coming out. How often do you even see carriers nowadays? But this could be exactly what Kanadan needs to come back in this match. The food supply is pretty even. The one thing I would say is the mining bases. Big problem here is Kanadan. He's lost 46 drone probes down to only 27, so his income is tiny. It is under half that of TLO's, so that is not good at all. He's got to win this game soon if he wants any chance, and TLO, he's just taking his 5th and 6th base and his 6th one right under the nose there of Kanadan. A drop coming down in the main, and if you look at Kanadan's army, he is so far out of position, but there are quite a few Zealots there. Those Zealots are 2-2. No 3-3 on the way yet, and I mean, those Zerglings will get cleaned up, but here comes the Broodlord force, and my god, that is a lot of Broodlords. There are 13 Broodlords and only 5 Infestors, is it? Yeah, 10 Infestors. I don't know where the other ones are. They are chilling somewhere. There they all are. So we have got all of those Infestors, and this Stalker force is just going to blink straight through the spine wall, but a few getting picked off, and now obviously here comes the Corruptors, and what is TLO going to do to deal with this? Well, he gets a massive fungal growth off, and that is going to pick up a lot of the Stalkers, leaving just 4 there to kind of move him, but I mean, there's nothing he can essentially pick off here. He's got to be really, really careful. Can't pull out because here comes the Zerglings as well, and essentially he can get a drone or 2, but that is it. Meanwhile, TLO, he's going to deny that 4th base of Kanadan, and he is going to deny it hard. There's just no way he's going to do it, but here comes the carriers, and how many carriers have we even got on the field? We have 5 carriers out. The mothership isn't done yet. Now, Kanadan, you don't want to engage yet. If he bides his time, admittedly he's quite a long way behind in supply, but that +1 air attack is on the way. He's getting some High Templars. His mothership is out. Where is it? There we go. So we have got the mummy ship, and what can TLO do? Well, this is 2 Overlords, and I believe those Broodlings are 3-2 as well. So I mean, that 3rd base of Kanadan is going down. So essentially, it is all going to come down to the big engagement. If Kanadan can take out TLO's army, he will be fine. But TLO, I don't even think he was expecting those carriers too much. Obviously, he did scout them with that drop, but has he reacted enough in terms of the Corruptors? He's got 18 Corruptors. To be fair, if there's a fantastic Vortex, Kanadan can still do this. It's all going to be down to the Vortex and the detection there of TLO. Now, Obviously TLO, he does have quite a few infestors, so those infestors could be good. Doesn't want to be sacrificing Immortals though, because obviously if Kanadan gives away Immortals for free, that is not going to be good against the ground army. Although, what is this army in terms of the ground? Well, there's only 4 roaches, so that's not a threat at all. And here we go, we're going to see a bit of engagement going down here. The carrier's going outside of the cloaking field, hiding this UI, so we can get a good look at this. And one Broodlord goes straight down, but there's a massive fungal growth. Where are the Corruptors? Because obviously they're going to be essential. The Corruptors are nowhere to be seen. A Vortex does suck up an awful lot of those Broodlords, but essentially the Broodlords can't do anything, and it's actually in TLO's interest to get them in there. He needed that Vortex for all of these Corruptors and Infestors, and now those Infestors and Corruptors are there. Great fungal growths, and frankly, those carriers are down. Look at Kanadan's supply plummet, and this was so well played there by TLO. Perfect number of Corruptors, going to take out all of that air, and that is GG there. There's no way Kanadan can come back, and GG from Kanadan. So I hope you did enjoy that game. That was fantastic. I mean, good try by Kanadan getting those carriers in, trying to deal with that massive brood force, but obviously the amount of damage that TLO could do, he had all the spines there as well in order to defend. He had the base advantage, he denied the expansions of Kanadan, and as always, the mid and late game of StarCraft 2 is down to expansion management, the ones you take and the one you prevent your opponents taking. So well played by TLO. I'm going to cast some more of his games, so tune in during the week and get a look at those. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, thumbs up please, subscribe to my channel. Obviously add me on Twitter as well. Thank you very much. Tune in again. Bye for now.